The way people treat animals can say a lot about their maturity. Perhaps they're successful or experienced, but it doesn't matter if they have experience or not. The way they treat animals is a demonstration of their responsibility and compassion. A typical bike ride didn't go quite as planned for Paul Skinner. As the man was riding his bike, he noticed something strange by the side of the road. Paul was cycling along a road in Maidville, Lincolnshire, when he saw a dog lying on the side of the road. It didn't really seem like anything special, but something made Paul stop and approach the animal. Next to the dog, the man saw a bag of fast food, which the animal used to rest its head on. It was a small spaniel without a collar, the man said. The dog was on its own sitting, licking the contents of a fish and chips carrier bag. The bag contained 4 dead pups. It was heartbreaking. She had tears in her eyes. I could not believe that anybody could be so devoid of humanity to do something like this. The dog probably knew that her puppies were no longer alive, but she still stayed with them. The man alerted the police, animal welfare, and a local shelter who took the dog in and later named her Carly. The vets tried to resuscitate the pups, which according to them were born in the morning and were most likely alive when they were left there, and then died from the cold. Sometimes a puppy can give the appearance of being dead, but can be revived if you can warm them up. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Carly's health attested to her being mistreated by her previous owners. This was most likely the first time she gave birth. Carly now needs rehabilitation after what she's been through. The shelter staff is doing everything they can to help her forget her terrible past as quickly as possible. The only good thing in this situation is that Carly is alive and doing well, and she'll have a chance to find a loving family, and maybe even have more puppies in the future. We wish Carly to find the best forever home there is. It is imperative to assess one's abilities and readiness before getting a pet. That means being willing and able to accept mental, physical, and financial responsibility. All family members must give their consent voluntarily without much persuasion, blackmail, or manipulation. Otherwise, the pet will never be happy and safe in a place where it isn't loved. If a child asks for a dog or a parrot or some other pet, keep in mind that it is still the adults who will have to take care of the pet, regardless of the child's age. Think through all the potential problems in little details, such as expensive food, accessories, and medicine. Also, the future owner should have a plan as to who will take care of their pet when they go on vacation. One needs to make sure to think through all these issues and have a specific plan on how to deal with them for the entire lifetime of the pet. And that's about 15 years for dogs and cats, for example. Please be wise and don't make any rash decisions which could eventually harm the animal. You don't have to keep pets at home to love and help. There are countless ways you can help, and when children observe their parents treat animals kindly, they begin to do so themselves, and the world becomes a better and kinder place. We have another story about an animal saves human baby. Stay tuned to watch this story. Many people know that maternal love knows no bounds. A real mother will keep a child warm, well-fed, and safe, even if they belong to a different species. And today, I will tell you about a heartwarming story about a dog that saved the life of a newborn baby. This story took place near the city of La Plata, Argentina. One afternoon, a man named Fabio was working in the field when he heard a baby crying. He went in the direction the sound was coming from and saw a stray dog that had given birth recently. I don't know if you'll believe me, but when Fabio looked inside the box with the dog family, he saw that in addition to 6 puppies, the mother dog had a human baby in there. Just imagine how surprised and frightened the man must have been. He immediately called the police. The child was most likely born right there in the field. However, the baby's mother was nowhere to be found. Having arrived at the scene, the police immediately took the baby to a hospital. The doctors established that it was a girl. She weighed 3 kilograms and was several hours old. Small bruises and scratches from the dog's teeth were found on the baby's body. They were probably made by the dog as she was trying to carry the baby. However, the baby girl was in good condition overall. But if the dog hadn't kept the baby warm, she could have died from the cold in a few hours. The unfortunate mother was found the next day. She turned out to be a 17-year-old girl. The teenager couldn't explain who the baby's father was or why she gave birth in the field. The only thing she did say was that she gave birth a few meters away from the dog. Can you even imagine? She left her baby daughter right there in the mud. How selfish do you have to be to do something like that? Fortunately, there was a dog nearby and carefully carried her to the box with her own puppies. Having examined the young mother, doctors admitted her with a diagnosis of uterine bleeding. She'll have to face criminal prosecution later. The baby was taken to the Children's Hospital in the city of La Plata, and her savior, who was named China, became a local celebrity. By the way, volunteers of the local animal protection organization have moved the whole four-legged family to an animal shelter. The puppies grew up there and were all later adopted. As for China, she was adopted by one of the shelter's volunteers. So friends, it's a touching story, but a sad one at the same time. Fortunately, it had a happy ending. I don't know about you, but I find what this dog did truly amazing. I think she's a real hero. Let us know in the comments if you learned something good from this story. Thank you.